Hey, what's up? David here with After VideoFX and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be making this rain effect using After Effects, and I decided to keep it simple today. So there will be two versions of this rain effect. I'll show you how to create both. So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at what we're gonna be creating. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. So let's go straight into it. So I've got a brick texture here, and I'll leave a link where you can download this. And we're just going to drop it into a new comp here, like that. And we might actually adjust this to full HD, like that. And we'll just scale it up, holding down Shift. Like that. Okay, and we'll just label our comp as rain puddle. Okay, so it looks like that. Let's pre-compose this. So Control Shift C, and we'll move all attributes and call this background texture. Hit OK. Alright, so let's go ahead and create a new solid, and we'll make it black. Call this rain puddle. Hit OK. Alright, let's go ahead and grab our fractal noise effect, like that. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring this contrast really high, like maybe about 2000. And we'll just lower the brightness a bit, and we can just bring this complexity up to maybe about 10. Let's scale this up to about there, like so. And we might actually bring this contrast back up. Sorry, my bad. Somewhere about 330. I think that was my value. And just bring this contrast back up, like so. Okay, cool. And what we're going to do is pre-compose this. So Control Shift C, and we'll call this puddle map. Hit OK. Let's jump in here. And what we want to do is add a mask, small mask around the center here. So if you double click the mask, you can come up with the transform properties. It's really small, maybe so that you can barely see it. Yeah, like that. And what we're going to do, hit M, bring up the mask path. And what we're going to do is might shorten my comp here to maybe about 10 seconds. And same goes for my rain puddle. Just shorten that to 10 seconds as well. Sweet. Okay. And then we can just move forward maybe about 2 seconds and just expand this out and just give it some dynamic shape. So what you can do is just like extend this out, maybe like that. Maybe you can add another point and just extend this out, and just keep doing this until you're happy with it. So I'm just going to do this quickly, so give me a minute. Okay, so once you've got something, you can start adjusting a little bit. So maybe I might make this a little faster. So I might make it like 3 seconds long for the growth to happen. So it just expands out pretty quickly. And we'll just hit F9, smooth these out. And maybe hit F and just feather it out. Maybe about 20 pixels. And I want to add some roughness to this. So we can go to stylize, roughen edge, and just roughen this edge out a bit. So you can just turn down some of the scale here. Maybe like that. Maybe make it about 130. And border, maybe about 6. Edge sharpness, not too sharp. Like something like that. Yeah, it's just all about making some adjustments, and then maybe 35. Cool. So that's all looking all good. Now, just want to enlarge this mask layer like that, in case you get that kind of problem. All right, cool. So let's jump back into our comp, and we're gonna shut the eye off for this. And what we're gonna do is just drag another of our background texture into our comp here. And this time we'll call this Puddle FX. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a CC glass effect. So go to stylize CC glass, and we'll choose our puddle map, and we'll bring the displacement down and the height down. Let's go ahead and add a channel set matte effect, and we'll subtract the luminance of our puddle map. And then finally we'll add a curves adjustment, and we'll just darken this like that. We can even add a little bit of displacement, so we go to distort, turbulent displace, and we'll just make it small, make it subtle. A subtle displacement, so like that. Okay, and now if we overlay these two, we get something nice. And you can just adjust like the lighting of your glass effect. So I think mine was like about 130, 110, something like that. And let's go ahead and add some raindrops to this. So Control Y for a new solid, and we'll call this raindrops. Hit OK. We'll get the simulation CC particle world. I haven't used this effect for a while, so it's good that I'm using it again. We'll shut the grid off, and let's just get all these settings up. So we wanted to change it to a directional axis, and then we're just going to adjust this angle here, and we'll just spread this out. Like so, like that, and we'll change the velocity to a negative value, -1, and we'll turn the gravity down so that it looks like it's shooting from this angle, and we'll just spread this out even more so it looks like it's raining. Okay, and we'll change the color to maybe more like a bluish white color, like this. Okay, and change the birth rate to maybe 1.5, and longevity to about 1.5 as well. Okay, we'll change that to 1. Okay, cool. So we have our rain here, And let's go ahead and just create some ripples. So let's control Y again, and we'll call this rain ripples. And this time we'll make it a gray solid. So somewhere about there. Maybe a bit brighter. Okay. Okay, and then we'll go into the CC Drizzle. So we'll go to Simulation CC Drizzle. Okay, and then we can just adjust some of these settings. So we can turn up the drip rate and maybe turn up the longevity for these. And displacement, turn that up a bit. Maybe about 30. And ripple height is just adjust that and make it a little bit larger. We'll change the lighting to like that, maybe about 150, and change this to about 120. And just adjust some of these settings to that suits your scene here. And cool. Set this to overlay. Okay, now we can see our drizzle map. So we can just maybe adjust this. Maybe adjust the line to about 165. That'll make it a little bit brighter. And let's go ahead and make 3 adjustment layers. So Control Alt Y, Y, Y. Okay, and first we'll call this CC. This one we'll call Vignette. And this one we'll call Displace. Okay, so let's start with the C color correction. Let's get the tint and the curves effect. Let's drop this down to maybe about 25% and just give it a little bit of contrast here. Like that. Take away some red and add some blue back on top. And maybe just let's add the curves adjustment on top of this and just do our usual vignette. So maybe about 350. Okay, and to give it a little bit of dynamic movement, we're going to add the turbulent displace, and we're just going to drop this to about 20, and we'll drop the amount to about 15. Just a subtle effect so that we can just see some turbulence. Maybe I'll make this 20 and I'll make this 25. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright, so I'm just going to do a RAM preview and see what it looks like. Okay, so as you can see, we've come a little bit of a problem here. Our rain puddle here is kind of expanding then stopping at the same time. So we can fix that. Let's lock this comp and jump in back into our puddle map. And let's just slide this over. So what we want to do is if we hit U, these 2 keyframes are causing the fluctuation of the movement. So if we just delete them, we get a nice smoother movement here, but we've lost our dynamic movement here. So what we want to do is just maybe just extend these points out here. That's okay. And if we have a look at this, we get a nice smoother movement here. We might just do that. We can just add some more points to this and make this like a little bit bigger of a Bezier kind of thing. Kind of looks sharp, so just smooth this out. bit. Like that. Okay. Let's just jump back into this comp and unlock that. And our rain drizzle map is kind of falling outside of the puddle. So what we can do is just come at the start of this comp and just draw a rough mask around the center here. Oh no. And we can just mask it out. So come over here and just hit M for mask path and just expand this out. I'm not getting. And we might hit F and just feather out maybe 30 pixels, and then just keep doing this for the rest of the comp. I just draw it in from this point, and then it just starts building up like that, and it just smooth these out, and maybe a little bit slower like that, and we'll hit Alt bracket just to cut it from starting from this position. All right. Okay, so let's check out our RAM preview. Okay, so as you can see, we can try and build up the ripples instead. So maybe we can just like do the same for this. Opacity here. When it comes here, maybe I'll start it at 25% and just hit F9. So like that. So it builds up slowly. Nice. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the rain puddle. Now to create this rain drops effect on the second version, what we can do is just grab our rain puddle, duplicate it. We'll call this rain drop comp, and we'll just open this up. And basically it's a duplicate of our scene here, but instead we're just going to delete these two effects here, and what we're going to do is just create a new solid, make it black, and we'll call this rain drops. Okay, and we'll get a fractal noise effect, noise and grain, fractal noise. Okay, and what we're going to do is firstly we're going to scale this to about 5. So it looks like these grains here, and we're going to just do unusual contrast, maybe just like that. Maybe we do like 6 or something. So something like this. Maybe we can even just like adjust the scale here, make it a little bit larger. Yeah, that looks a bit better. If we just take the brightness and brightness keyframe, so we can just set a keyframe from the back here, and we'll just darken this all the way down. We'll stop there, maybe move forward, maybe about 4 seconds, and just brighten it up until it fills the entire comp with white. Okay, so we get this nice rain effect happening here. Alright, so let's just pre-compose this. Move our attributes to call this rain drop map. Hit OK. And we'll just bring it here. Shut the eye off for now. And let's make a duplicate copy of our background texture. Call this rain effects. And we'll just grab our usual CC glass effect. So stylize CC glass. And we'll select the raindrop map. and we'll load this like that. And what we're going to do is actually duplicate our raindrop map, set it on top, and we'll set the track matte to Luma matte. So if we take a look at this, you can see what kind of effect we're having here. We're using the Luma matte to decide what's going to be shown and what's not going to be shown, rather than using the set matte. So yeah, let's add the curves and just add our usual darkness on top, and we can add a distort, turbulent displace, and we'll just make this subtle, maybe about like 15 and maybe about 10. Okay, cool. And if we just play this back, I'm just going to use third res here. We can just see it's making our comp look like it's filled with wet rain. And we can just adjust this brightness and contrast here. Your color correction may be a little different, so you may have to adjust it a bit. And so maybe about 20. And this time we want the raindrops to start at the beginning. So what we can do is just slide this back here and just bring these back here. So we can, and then for the rain ripples, we can delete the mask and just as it starts raining, our rain puddles will start to appear. Okay, so I'm just going to do a RAM preview and let's see what this looks like. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, it's not looking too bad. Maybe we can adjust the timing and these raindrops a bit. So for starters, let's go ahead and add motion blur to these. So turn on motion blur for the comp here. And we might even drop the opacity to about maybe about 80%, or maybe 75 is better. And we can just time the ripples a little bit later, so maybe we can just bring this back here, and we can just adjust this one to be like 15% instead. Alright, so that should look a bit better. Nice. Okay. So that's it, guys. So that's how you make the puddle / raindrop effect here. It's just from a point of view from you standing up looking down. So it's like a high angle shot. So yeah, thank you everyone. My name's David. I hope you learned interesting techniques that you can use for your own creations. As always, guys, please give a like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more, and make sure to hit that bell button to get the notifications, and comment down below if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.